Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday. Vlogs are caught up finally for the first time in like 6 days. I don't want it to get like that, but that's done and all caught up on, minus today, of course. We're still pending on that. I'm going to head to the BMV here in a couple of minutes and renew my driver's license. It's all that crap you got to put together. You need another form of ID, which I have my U.S. passport, my birth certificate, and my social security card in there, so I hope you don't lose that. The old license, they do take credit card now. They used to only take cash and check, which was super annoying. So I am going to bring a check just in case. Oh, our credit card machines are down. We're only taking cash and checks. So when was the last time, like, that's a U.S. thing, right? I've heard from people that other countries, Europe, you guys tell me, if you use checks or not. A check is a piece of paper from your bank with your bank account number and address and name on it that you write out an amount. Obviously, I can't show you the check because of that sensitive information, but you write out who it's going to, how much, the date, you sign it. There's a place for a memo if you want to write, you know, paying for Frisky Threesome last Friday, you can write that on there. And then you give it to the person, they sign the back and take it to their bank and either deposit it or cash it. You got some big boxes here with all the parts that have been pending. The one that was missing yesterday from the FCP box, did we even talk about that? I just edited that vlog, I don't think so. So the hood cables and whatnot came, and the fan. This is the aux fan, that's why they had to do a big box, because it had this one in there. That's the Bear Hella, which I think is the OE part. I asked people who I trust very much, and they said it is, or the OEM part. It says made in China, but it doesn't surprise me that German parts are manufactured in China because it's cheaper. When I picked up this big box yesterday off the porch and brought it inside, see, the bottom was torn open. I opened the top, but the bottom tape had torn, and that allowed, when I picked it up sideways, one of the cables to slide out onto the porch. So I picked it up and then thought, that's not good. If that fell out that easily, what else has fallen out? So I went through everything, and everything was in there except this. I am in shock that I was able to email my guy at FCP, and within like 14 hours, he had another one on my porch. And ECS's website said that it wasn't going to be available until October 28th or 24th or something like that. So here it is the next day. It's got a BMW part number sticker on it, so it's a genuine part, and I now have everything. This is the cable. See, it's just a steel cable in a rubber or plastic sleeve, and then the braided part has this thing on the end. I'm going to call it a hammer, and that's what connects into the latches. So this goes right in front of the engine, in between the two hood latches. That's the first part, or the last part. Then here's your junction box. That's the one you see under the hood, and this comes down to the first latch. It's got another hammer on the end like that, and then from the junction box up into the car, you have this piece, and that big hunk of plastic is where the hood release handle sits inside the car. That grommet goes through the firewall, and that hammer goes into the other end of the junction box under the hood. And then here's the two latches. They're identical. I opened the one yesterday and saw how that worked. You just stick the hammer in there and put the sheath of the cable through this little clip to keep it in line. So there's two of those, of course. There's two hood latches. Then I got six new Torx bolts that will hold the hood latches onto the core support. And then for the aux fan, I thought, why not replace the nuts? They're 29 cents. So there's 4 nuts to bolt the aux fan in. And then that's the shark, which needs to go back in the basement. This is all packing material that I'll be using next week as I start to pack things up. So everything's here now. Now I just need to find the time. What sucks is the bumper has to come off. That's time consuming. So I'll have to put the car on jack stands in the front. Of course, I can't do that because the jack doesn't slide into the car. So I got to drive it up on 2x4s, jack up the front of the car by the center jacking point, put it on jack stands, remove the front fender liners, remove the front wheels, well, the wheels first, then fender liners, then bumper, unplug fogs, unplug PDC, put the bumper in a dry-safe location. And then take off that piece of trim that's specific to the M cars that sits in front of the aux fan. Take the aux fan out, replace that. Might as well do the rest of the job with the aux fan out. New latches, new cables, interior is going to have to come apart, driver's side cabin air filter box, driver's pedal box sealing as I call it. What else? Dead pedal's got to come out. It's gonna take a couple hours. I got in the car ready to go and we have ourselves an abortion. Today with a 10% chance of rain, we're seeing some severe pop-up storms out to the west. Of course moving southeast towards me. So that was a waste. Taking the 3 Series. Anybody like the Stelvio? Second time I've seen that green one here in town. This guy's dogging it here. It's a 45, we're at 34. It's an old dude, I'm not gonna harass him too much. But the Kia Amante, who remembers those from 10 years ago? We looked at them and thought, they kind of went for a Bentley look on that. Didn't quite get it, but was this the beginning of Kia, Hyundai, whatever the name of the parent corporation is? Was this the beginning, fixed by them, very nice. Was this the beginning of them deciding that they wanted to build luxury cars, or an attempt at a luxury car? You know, look at what they do now. The Genesis sub-branded G80 and G90, the Kia K900, even the Stinger, that's more of a sports focus, but this seemed like a test of that design style now, knowing what they've done today. Oh, that was fun. It's like 45 minutes in there. Not much of a line, which I was happy about, and I actually got this nice lady, Karen. I think she's been smoking for about 11 decades, but other than that, very nice and helpful. Driver's license has been renewed. It's $27. I use credit, no problem. It's some sort of some sort of compliant driver's license that's more powerful than a regular state-issued driver's license. I had to show 2 proofs of ID. Or 2 proofs of name and address, which I only had 1. So they let me log in on a computer and print out a bank statement, which had my name and address and a date on it from a certified institution such as Chase, JP Morgan Chase. But I guess October 1st, 2020, to travel in between states, you have to have some sort of a driver's license that shows that you also have a passport. Something new, crazy is happening. So you need social security card, birth certificate, old driver's license, 2 forms of ID, legal presence, which means they have to take your picture there in addition to the driver's license picture. My new one's horrible. I look like some fat little German kid. But hey, we're done for 4 years now. Digging the 80s on 8, that's cool. I haven't listened to that much. And here's the rain. Get a half mile north, everything's soaking wet. It's coming down pretty well. Oh yeah, here we go. This is summer 2018 in a nutshell. Today was a 2% chance of rain. We are now going 50 on the highway. It's raining so hard. Look at this. Everybody's pulled over to the side of the road. We got hazards on. 10 miles an hour. Lovely. The road here is actually flooding. It was a little worse back there because we're going uphill. Can you see the truck ahead? There's like 3 or 4 inches of water right now. Holy crap. Alright, the left lane's actually flooded out. There was a car that hydroplaned so much it went sideways into the wall. So I've never seen the entire left lane of a highway flood out before. There's like 4 or 5 inches of water over there, and you're trying to go even 40 miles an hour. Oh jeez. Oh, holy crap, we're in it now. We're not connected to the road for a minute. This is magic. Hudson just got back up here. It's not so bad, but there is a lug nut. That larger thing is somebody's lug nut in the road. Used to be a sports store in there, Olympia or something like that. Before that it was Coldwater Creek, some old lady store, but now it's J. Jill, whatever the hell that is, opening this fall. In like 4 days, they transformed that building from an empty old store to, I think there's gonna be 2 new ones in there. I think they split it down the middle. Just finished mowing over there. I really wanted to get it done today. Everything's still wet, so it all clumped, and I caught it because there's so many leaves down. And then the thing weighs 300 pounds when I try to dump it, and I ran out of gas halfway through. It's been a real struggle, but it is done. This damn humidity out here, it's still dank. You just feel it. It feels like you stuck your head inside of a washing machine mid-cycle. Anyhow, midnight now. Got the 1 lawn done, came in, heated up some pizza, watched some Parks and Rec, and relax a little bit. The last couple of days I've been running like crazy, doing things and here and there and scheduling, and it's not a ton of physical work, but it's mentally very stressful trying to get everything here in order in the next week and a half. But we talked today, the vlogs are caught up and other lawns done and stuff like that. So tomorrow's Friday, going into a weekend. I'm going to try to take it easy a little bit. I've still got one more lawn to do. I've got a lot of car work to do. There's a lot to do still. So with that, I'm going to go to sleep and we'll talk Friday. Good night.